What, just what, if there was an app on your phone called the Fear Translator? And anytime you see something out there that you think is bad or hurtful in somebody else, or even something in yourself like anger or something, you can call on the Fear Translator. And of course, it has like its own Siri, but it's called Feary. Another question. What what's the story behind greed? It's so easy to just judge and hate greedy people. And is there fear underneath all that? Checking. Absolutely. There's plenty of fear. Would you like me to elaborate? Oh, yes, please. So, what we see underneath this greed is much fear of scarcity, much fear that there's not enough. And there must be accumulation and accumulation and accumulation, just like a hamster trying to run fast enough. That is what we see behind greed. And I said, anything else? Well, would you like to hear the belief underneath the fear? Yeah, I didn't know you do that. Oh, yes, we do beliefs, no extra charge. So the fundamental belief, the foundation of that greed is the person believing that they are not enough. They are a person who doesn't know who they are. Oh, wow, thank you. Feary, that is profound. With friends like you, who needs therapists? I have another question for you, Feary. There's a lot of people right now hurting and expressing their hurt through outrage. There's a whole country of blue states and people all around the world who are outraged by what's going on. What fears, if any, are underneath people's rage right now? Checking? Oh my. Oh, very good. Okay, we have it. So, would you like it in plain language or would you like us to flower and dress it up? No, I want it plain. Just speak the truth. What do you see? Well, we see fear of grieving, fear of pain, fear of loss, loss of democracy. We see an overwhelming overload of empathy and the need to protect oneself from a breaking heart. We see people putting up a shield so that they don't have to experience how vulnerable they feel in their pain. Wow, Feary. What else? Would you like us to drop to beliefs? Yeah, what do they believe? They are believing that to protest, to give a voice, to make progress in social change, social justice, what we see is that they believe that it's only aggression that can combat aggression, that the only strength there is in being outraged, the fight against the machine. Wow. What would you recommend for these people? Checking? We recommend to begin their healing process, to acknowledge sadness, to acknowledge sadness. Wow, Feary, that is great. You know, I should give Feary an Indian accent, right? Except I suck at that. Listen, I'm going to try it anyway. Would you like, would you like me to send compassion? Yes, please, to all people who are experiencing greed. It has been sent. Thank you. What else? What is, okay, is there fear behind racism? Checking. Yes, we see much fear. Much fear, very, very fragile sense of self behind that. It is as if anyone who appears to be different, whether it be skin color or anything really, could be anything, is perceived as a threat. The other. And anybody who is the other must be a threat. Lots of fear. Lots of fear. Would you like me to send compassion? Oh, definitely. But also, while you're at it, if it isn't too much trouble, would you be also willing to, are you able to do two things at once? Oh, yes, we are multitasking. Would you be willing to send compassion to the people who are the victims of racism? Sending now. Thank you. Wow, that was really profound. It reminds me, I grew up in this white suburban neighborhood called Mill Basin. That's what. And everyone was, well, white. And the first place I moved to when I lived on my own, I think I was age 18, was Greenwich Village. And Greenwich Village is anything but, what's the word, gentrified? Would that make sense? Yeah, it's just like every color of the rainbow exists there. And individuality is so expressed, like peacocks. People are just displaying their feathers. And at first it freaked me out. And I could relate to racism because I felt threatened. And the first reaction when I felt threatened is to judge. But I got over it. And I began to love living in Greenwich Village as if I was living in a carnival. And I wrote a song to celebrate. Yeah. One day I took me a walk in Greenwich Village, New York, to catch up on the latest crazes. I found a brand new reference for sexual preference listed in the yellow pages. Stumbled upon a crowded hair salon. The line went around the block. There was a special that day on purple body waves with a little green on the top. Yes, we're becoming a rainbow. Yes, we are seeing the lights. Wouldn't you rather see through a color TV and throw away your black and white? Yes, we're becoming a rainbow. Yes, we are seeing the lights. It's so hard to stay with your own kind these days when no two people look alike. Well, there's new races, new faces, new colors, new creeds. We're swimming in diversity. You can keep company with the folks you agree with, or sample the variety. I got a born-again friend who dabbles in Zen. She's Christian in a mystical way. If you don't like your religion, get a second opinion. Why stick to only one faith these days? Yes, we're becoming a rainbow. Yes, we are seeing the lights. Would you rather see through a color TV and throw away your black and white? Yes, we're becoming a rainbow. Yes, we are seeing the lights. So hard to stay with your own kind these days when no two people look alike, when no two people think alike, when no two people are alive.